We started Majlis Mocha less than 6 months ago, and if I could do it all over again, here are the 5 things that I would change to make our journey even smoother. So number 1 would be to definitely not to sign up for vending events that charge you more than $75 to be a vendor at. It's typically not worth it. We have learned the hard way that there are some events that we've paid $500 to get into. I even missed my cousin's wedding for that event, and we ended up barely making $200 that night. So we learned the hard way that honestly, if it's more than $75, typically it's not worth it. And then sometimes you just have to judge, like, okay, even if I don't make my money on this, is this going, for example, like for us, like, is it a charity to Palestine, which I'm fine with just losing money on that, or is the marketing and the advertising going to be worth it on this? So it's really up to you to be the judge of that. But typically, if it's more than $75, we don't go for it. Number 2, don't wait around to be perfect or to have everything right the first time around. Try your best and you will definitely learn as you go. So one thing we're consistently working on, for example, is figuring out the workflow so that we're not like bumping into each other when we have large lines, which we get a rush of people all the time in the types of events that we serve at. And it was really nice last week when we were serving at an event, one of the guests that came up to our table mentioned, like, y'all are really fast. And so that's something that really try to make sure we maintain, which is good quality but also quick service. Number 3 would be to be ready for things not to go as expected and to think outside of the box. So at this event here, where we were setting up for the 5K, it was actually very cold that morning, surprisingly, and very cloudy. So we did have cold drinks and hot drinks prepped for the event, but a lot of people ended up buying a lot of hot drinks, so we ended up running out of our hot water, for example. So I ran to Walmart, bought a kettle, and got my bottles of water, filled it up, and literally boiled the water there so that we can have hot water to make some of our hot drinks. So be ready to always be flexible, to pivot as needed, and think outside of the box. And then number 4, keep your menu super simple. You don't need to overcomplicate it. Have a good small variety, but nothing too complex. And then number 5, and I think this one I'm still learning to get over, is not to let the imposter syndrome get to you. So if you know anything about me, or even Adil, we both do not have a background in being a barista. We've worked other kind of jobs when we were in high school or in college as like tutors, for example, but never anything really in a cafe or a restaurant. But one thing that we've learned is everything can really be taught from the internet. If you want it bad enough, you can learn it, and you have a lot of tools at your fingertips. Yep, let me know what you think.